What is up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Straight off the bat, we've got some Nissan genuine freshness. Check out this. This is the new power steering pressure switch. Check that out. It's pretty insane. So I'm not sure if you guys can remember, but fresh hose is made up from the hydraulic shop, so flexible lines. But in it, we actually cut out how the old power steer pressure switch mounted and brazed up a cool little line to put this in. I didn't have the switch, and nowhere in Australia had them, so kudos, had to order this in from Nissan Japan, I guess. So today we can't finish off. I still haven't got the interior in. I've actually got Brian from Nova Screens coming back, so we've got a little mishap with the windows. I wouldn't say it's a mishap, but just something Brian didn't know. But the screen, we think, is actually just like 1 mil too far forward, and we've got this bit of a gap here at the back that I'm not overly crash hot about. So we're gonna have to take that screen back out and just shift it just a mil back, just so all this stuff here lines up so it's perfect. So let's enjoy it. I've been putting this off for a while now, but it's time to mount the center console back in, and we need to give it a good clean up too. It's got dust and crap all over it from the body shop, and it's sat here on the shelf for like 6 months now, so we're going to give this a wipe down and then put it back in. Here's something that I use, and it's not a moist.
Okay, shot a fucking Jägermeister.
Or a Captain Moistkins and Coke.
You should get her a Moister energy drink, and then we should all go race Moist across.
Or it's not a slippery sort of greasy stuff. It's just a inner clean, interior quick detailer. So it sort of just protects it. It is a good cleaner as well. It's an all-purpose cleaner, but if you get all the crap out of it with warm soapy water first, wash it down with fresh water, and then I just apply a very light swipe over with this. I'll show you how I do it. A little spray on the rag, and then just wipe it on. Man, it's just one piece at a time, so that interior bit's done. Looks sweet. I just want to go over a couple of things that we didn't get to do. We got to open them up in the last episode, but we didn't get to fit them. And that's our rubbers. So let's go through right now and change all the rubbers in the car so they're up to date. Let's put a little bit on those. Look at that, that's perfect. Oh. Bonnet's a pretty important one, so sort of thread it in to here. So screw it in. Now these actually set the height of your bonnet as it shuts, so you know, go down maybe halfway to start off with. So they're done. That's the next rubber bumper stop off the list. So what do we got left there now? That little ones. These little fuckers, these were throwing me off, because check this out, right? The rear ones are that bad, they don't look anything like it. So look at this little squash chode. So get rid of that crummy part carefully. There we go. What do we do with crummy parts? And the freshie boot's gonna shut way better now. Today we're doing some fun stuff. I've got a new product from Frenchie's Performance Garage. Now, FPG, also known as Frenchie's Performance Garage, have released this new Atessa line kit. So this is a really fucking state-of-the-art fittings on this thing. So this is a compressed hydraulic line for the Atessa unit, better than the old crummy one. The beauty of this, and it's kind of funny because this is only a new product released by Frenchie's Performance Garage, and literally I didn't know about the product being released, but the day it was released, Mitch from Zoli Motorsport and myself Googled Attessa lines or a Attessa sensor blocks for a R32 GTR, and of course Frenchie's Performance Garage popped up with this kit. So the reason we actually needed it is we actually need this block here, which goes into the back of the Attessa clutch unit. This goes on the back of the transfer case, and when hydraulic pressure is applied, this pushes on the clutch and then we get drive to the front wheels. Now what we needed to do is the Emtron wants to know the pressure from the pump. So the beauty of this is we got this little sensor block which goes in the back of here, and then you fit Frenchie's Performance Garage new line. It comes with all the fittings, it comes with hose clamps, the banjo bolt which goes onto the pump, and there you have it, easy as that. So the only thing I need to do now is I need to get a 500 PSI sensor from Raceworks. So this morning we're going to put this line on. I'm also, over the last few hours, I have just been doing the air conditioning wiring. Of course the air conditioning is all set up. I've got all the new hoses in, the new fan and everything's in, condenser is in. I'm just doing the wiring, as you can see right here. So this is the Frenchie's Performance Garage kit, or not really, it's a kit, is the AC kit, but if you print this out off his website, Frenchie's Performance Garage has it all there for you, and it's very, very simple. So one thing I did notice is if you look at this where it says OEM dryer pressure switch, you don't use that pressure switch, you just use the plug. So these two wires, one coming from the fan relay, goes straight down and onto the pressure switch, and then the other one goes from ECU pin 9. I did pin that out just to be careful, but just so you know, those two wires are actually the OEM dryer switch, which plugs in over this side, so it's on the headlight loom. So that's your fog light wires, and then this one here went to the dryer. So one of those is ECU pin 9, the other one is from the fan relay. So the new AC relay I've actually hidden up in here. So that AC relay, I've used Frenchie Performance Garage awesome wire. This wire is unbelievable, it is awesome stuff to use. So that will be hidden up in there. There's a bolt hole for it, if you can see around the corner. Where are we? Up there, see that little tab just there? That's going to be perfect for mounting that relay. So when you do wind your wires up like that, be very careful when you use a drill. You don't want to wind it up too much, so when you let it go it shouldn't unflick. Like, you don't want tension there, you'll actually damage the wire. It's just, you really probably should do it by hand until you get a feel for exactly what you're doing, but you can damage the wire, so just be super careful with that. But just wind it up so it's nice and neat, and then that'll go in a sheath back over to here. All the wiring gets hidden, of course, but I'm nearly finished the AC wiring. I didn't film it all because it is quite boring, but it's so simple. Okay, so I pretty much got all the aircon done. What do we need? We need a 12 volt ignition, but it's pretty hard to find 12 volt ignition when I don't have the ECU in to actually do an ignition on, ignition off and find it. I probably could pin it out from a wiring diagram, but what I have found is, because it's a wiring specialties harness, some of the colors of the wires are different from factory, which is sad because it is meant to be a factory, an OEM replacement harness, but there's a few little bits in different pieces. But anyway, I'd prefer to do it properly, and we need to get the Emtron ECU up inside anyway. So let's have a look here what we've got. Get the Emtron computer out. That's our screen, so we probably don't need that first. This is our ECU, and then this is also the bracket that comes with it. Then this is our jumper harness. So This is Emtron's state-of-the-art jumper harness. Now, this is very similar to the stuff that Frenchie's Performance Garage use actually on all their gear. Obviously, this is manufactured in Australia and it's not manufactured on a production line. Like, you can tell that a lot of thought has gone into that, and it's really, really good. So this here, that's also like a motorsport type connector. And I believe that goes to the screen. I believe that's what connects to the screen. So, and then you've got your Deutsch plugs there. So let's plug her in, finish bolting up this, get the little nuts on it so it's all tied together. Rightio, let's have a look. But we actually have to make the cable that goes down to the ECU. So yes, that's what I thought too. So it's not exactly a plug and play kit, that's for sure. It's meant to be. It's not. No kit ever is a kit. Although the Howtech one was literally... Whoa! The Howtech one was plug in and away we go. So got a little bit more to do. So this is something I want to discuss into a bit of detail, and that is Raceworks Fuel Injectors, which we are putting in the billet block. So Raceworks have been kind enough to sponsor us with a set of their Bosch Motorsport 1500cc short 14mm fuel injectors. Now, I've actually run Bosch injectors before, so I had a set of Bosch 980cc injectors, I believe, in the initial build when I went twin turbo. See the red dot here? This is the dot that you need. It's got all your information on them. So when you purchase fuel injectors from Raceworks, they will come flow matched, so obviously they're not going to be perfect, but they will be very close. And this is your little signal there. So if you look at a red dot, you go onto the Raceworks website and it shows you the duty cycle and all the information in that little fuel injector will be on the website for you. The other thing is we've also got these extension for the short length, so this will actually extend to the proper length it needs to for the RB26 fuel rail. So as you can see, it's quite a big extension. Now that actually goes on the top, so this goes on the top of the injector like so, carefully, and then our nozzle will actually go right down in the injector rail. What we're going to do here is we're going to carefully remove this plastic bit and the O-ring, and then we've got our genuine Nissan insulator, it's called, which is like a square edge O-ring. Now that'll go on the bottom carefully. This ensures that when the injector goes down in, the nozzle, or yeah, the nozzle I guess you would call it, is actually seated right down into the fuel injector rail. Not the fuel pressure rail, the injector rail on the engine. So if you've got that nice and far, nice down in, at idle when there's a little bit of vacuum there and it's not under boost, you're not going to get a dribble, I guess they call it. So we'll go from there. And then if you have a look on the motor, this is what we call this sort of whole rail along there is your fuel injector rail, where the injector goes down into. Now there's several different ways to fit an injector. Once you got them all ready, line them all up carefully, I think I'm going to buy an injector cleaner machine because I would like to see these running in a machine before I put them in. I've been meaning to buy an injector cleaner for a while and I keep putting it off, so let me know where to buy a good one from, or a good brand of one. You know, I don't know a lot about them, but I know I could use them a heap with this car and other cars, and even my actual work, especially when you're running like, yeah, ethanol and any sort of race fuel. Leaving your injectors sitting around for a while, it'd be nice to clean them. But right now, let's have a look at our Raceworks fuel rail, which you guys have all seen carefully. So God, I can't even get one thing in a hole normally, let alone 6 at once. So we got all our 6 new Bosch Motorsport injectors in by Raceworks. So Raceworks 1500cc Bosch Motorsport injectors. Nice and easy to fit as per usual. So when we put a tune in the car, we'll have to put all that injector information into the ECU, which we have mounted, and it looks absolutely sick. This Emtron unit and the bracket is fantastic. That's a really nice little 2-piece bracket that they've made, and it fits perfect, which is hard to do in an older car. So that brings us to the end of the episode. Sorry we didn't get to fire it up. I thought we were going to probably nearly have the car fired up in this episode, but it will be in the next one. So we've got the exhaust to go to finish off. We've got a catch can for the breathers, which we're going to get made, or maybe go a Dartone Racing one. It'll sit up here somewhere. I just don't want a massive one that's sort of blocking off everything. The biggest hurdle with this car has been building a show car and also like a motorsport car, and it's that kind of grey area in between, and that's been really hard. But we're working with some awesome products and it's been super fun, and we're nearly there. Guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. See you next time. I haven't done a shit in forever, so I grabbed some down some laxative. Time to shit. Done.
Grab your dinner.
It's not my dinner, it's dog food. Din dins. Pretty cute, mate. That's your food.